Hello everyone, welcome back to Make the Music, and today we're going to be going over the different kinds of microphones I can use in my home studio. Which one should I buy? Okay, we're going to be breaking it down in this video. Please like and subscribe to see more of these kinds of videos, and let's get into this one. Okay, so I get this question a lot: what microphone should I be using in the home studio? I hear about dynamic, I hear about condenser, cardioid. All these different polar patterns, right? Should I be getting a ribbon one? Omnidirectional, okay? What should I be using? And so this is a common question, and really it comes down to the answer no one wants, which is it depends. But I'm going to have my recommendations. Here's what I think you should do, and maybe the microphones that you should pick up. So the first kind of microphone I want to discuss is a dynamic microphone, and that's something like this. This is an SM58. This is $100. It's been $100 for a long time. Probably the best bang for your buck microphone. It's the first one I got. I got it like 6 years ago or something like that. A dynamic microphone is what I would call the least sensitive microphone of all the microphones. So between condenser and ribbon, it's the least sensitive. It's commonly used on stage. You'll probably see this a lot in live performances and things. And because it's sensitive, it's not so sensitive, and it's really good at rejecting outside noise. It's used live because when you got a loud band playing behind you, you don't want the microphone picking up the snare drum or the whatever instruments are going on, or your acoustic guitar that you have down below, or whatever you end up playing. So this is really good at rejecting sound, and you can get really close up on this thing, and it also kind of naturally compresses the sound. The SM57, which is essentially the SM58, it has the same guts, just a different capsule essentially. Is used a lot on guitar cabinets. It can take a lot of sound. It kind of naturally compresses the sound. It's got a bit of a chopped off sound, so not as much high end and low. It's more mid-range focus. It's very much a rock dynamics are very much rock microphones, but they're used in all genres. But something like an SM58 or an SM57 are very much rock microphones. Now for the home studio, should you get a dynamic microphone? Maybe. It depends on what you're recording. If you're doing pop songs where everything else is in the box and you're recording vocals, a dynamic microphone may not be what you need. You may want something like a large diaphragm condenser that can record, your voice really, really clearly. Now, if you're someone who records guitar cabinets, loud brass instruments, loud rock vocalists who are shouting and screaming, maybe look into a dynamic microphone like this for starting out. It might be a little bit better for some of the stuff that you are doing. I started out with an SM58, and I like to call a microphone like this dummy proof because I didn't know what I was doing early on. But with an SM58, if you get up right on the mic with a pop filter and you got the gain at a decent moderate level, you're going to get a great sound no matter what you're doing. Condenser microphones, they take a little more play and a little more forethought into getting the best sound out of them, especially for your voice, and it just really is going to depend. But these are freaking dummy proof for the home studio. You get an amazing sound 99% of the time, and you really can't go wrong with it. Maybe if you learn how to use this thing really well, then let's move on to a condenser microphone. I'm totally fine with that, or you can get a condenser right off the bat. But for a home studio, not a bad choice. It's good at rejecting your horrible acoustics that are likely in your home studio. It's not going to get the best acoustic guitar sound in terms of top end and low end and things like that, but it's going to reject if you have terrible sounding walls. If you're in a small room, it's going to work wonders for you. And so if you're in a better treated space or space that's a little better acoustically, maybe move on to a condenser. But a dynamic, like I said, it's just like that go-to dummy proof microphone that can get the job done in the home studio. Next, we're going to talk about the next kind of microphone, and that is, I still have it on my mic stand here, that is a large diaphragm condenser microphone. This is the MXL V67. This is a $90 condenser, and it sounds incredible. Okay, the bang for your buck with microphones these days is great. It's not my most expensive mic, but I use this on vocals a lot. It's just a great sounding microphone. Now, large diaphragm condensers, unlike its brother, the dynamic microphone, they're much more sensitive, and they have a lot more top end, they have a lot more low end. They're going to capture the more intimate parts of the voice. They really have a lot of detail. They're also going to capture more outside noise. They're just trying to capture more and capture more in general. You're going to want to hit that phantom power button on your interface as well when you're using them. So they're all overall more sensitive. They're more sensitive to proximity. The dynamic microphone Whether you get right up on it or you're a little ways away from it, doesn't matter as much. You start to get too far away, then you start to get problems from it. But proximity does not matter as much with a dynamic. With a condenser, it does. Just a couple inches can really change the sound. So if you're inexperienced with microphones, it may be a bit of a learning curve with a condenser. However, there's no better time to start than now, okay? Get a nice affordable condenser microphone. Figure out what you're doing. Figure out how to use it. Maybe it sounds good on your voice, okay? Get something like that MXL, or there's other really affordable ones, like the Behringer B1 is a really affordable condenser microphone as well. They're really great on things like acoustic guitar or anything else that you have to mic up. As long as you're strategic about where you mic up in the room, they can be really good to use and use in any of those stringed instruments. Another thing people often talk about is omnidirectional or cardioid microphones. What is the difference? Well, if you can see here, I have what's called a lapel mic, and this one is actually cardioid, but a lot of lapel mics are omnidirectional, meaning they're picking up sound from all over. And that's what your phone microphone, your built-in phone microphone, is omnidirectional. Typically, I actually can change the sound to cardioid on mine, but cardioid is in the shape of a heart, essentially, is going to pick up more sound in front of it and reject more of the sound behind it. Omnidirectional is just trying to pick up everything. So when you're getting a microphone for your home studio, 99% of the time, you want a cardioid microphone because you want to pick up something in front of you. You want to reject all the bad stuff behind you. That's a great trick in the home studio. You have a bad wall, face the back of the mic towards it, face the mic towards the stuff that you want to record. Okay, so that's the difference between omnidirectional and cardioid. If you have a question, you can leave a comment down below. Now, what about other kinds of microphones? Well, there's ribbon microphones. I don't own any. It's just another way of capturing audio. They're a little warmer than your average condenser. You know, they tend to be a little more expensive. I wouldn't worry about that so much starting out. Condenser dynamics can cover 99% of your home studio needs. This is the Slate ML2. This one is a small diaphragm condenser microphone. Small diaphragm condensers are often used on overheads. They're put in places that are sometimes difficult to record. This can actually be a dynamic or a condenser microphone, which is really cool with the Slate stuff, and you can model mics like the SM58 and the Royers, and all, which is a ribbon microphone, and you can model it within their plugin. So this is just kind of a cool microphone that has a lot of features. I've used it on a ton of stuff. You can use it from anything to vocals, guitar amps, to bass, you can even put this thing on kick drum. It can model a Beta 58, which is just super cool. But a small diaphragm condenser, I would not recommend as much on vocals as a large diaphragm condenser, which is larger, can handle more of the air. I find that if I get too loud with this thing vocally and I'm too close to it, that I will get some input issues. Just for me personally with my voice. Doesn't mean it's not a great microphone when I have it on the condenser setting, as opposed to a large diaphragm condenser, which can just handle more air, or a dynamic microphone, which is just essentially a tank for a microphone. If you're miking up large guitar amps with a dynamic microphone and it can handle it, then it's going to easily be able to handle anything the voice can throw at it. So this is also another option. These are really good. Like, this is really good bang for your buck. You don't have to shy away from those. Early on, though, I'd recommend a large diaphragm condenser for use in your home studio. So that's my review of microphone types and which ones you should get for the home studio. Like I said, it kind of depends. Dynamic microphones, better at capturing large sources, good at rejecting sound, not the most detailed, but like I said, kind of dummy-proof microphones. Large diaphragm condensers, great all-around microphones, a little more sensitive. You got to learn a little more how to do them, and then something in between, like a small diaphragm condenser, can serve a variety of purposes. So let me know, what microphones do you have in the home studio? What are your favorite budget microphones? You can leave that in a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.